Hi, I'm Jisha from India. Please like and subscribe. I lived in a small fishing town with my adoring parents. My dad was a sailor and my mom was a homemaker. But when I was 10, our world suddenly came crashing down when we got the news that Dad's ship had been caught in a storm and he was missing. We waited for months to get good news, but none came. Mom needed a job, so we moved to another town where she started working as a housekeeper in a rich household. We were given a small room in the mansion. On our first day, I wandered into the huge gardens when suddenly I heard a loud scream. "Help me! I'm gonna fall and crack my butt!" I saw a pair of legs dangling from a tree. I spotted a small trampoline and pushed it under the tree. And seconds later, a girl my age fell on it. "Whoa, did you put this here?" "Yeah, I didn't want you to crack your butt. I mean, we all have cracked butts, but I didn't want you to crack it more." We both burst out laughing, and just then, Mrs. Chopra, the owner of the mansion, walked out. "Mom, this girl just saved my life. I was about to fall from the tree and she—"
How many times have I told you not to climb trees, Pooja? Anyway, thank you, Jisha. Hopefully my daughter can learn to behave more responsibly from you. Now come on, go play inside.
"Come, Jisha, I'll show you my latest Barbie collection." Pooja's room was super pretty and had a huge cupboard full of collectible Barbies. We played for hours, and when I was leaving, Pooja shoved the prettiest Barbie into my hands. "You can take this." "What? No, it's yours." "Yes, but now I want you to have it." I thanked Pooja and walked away happily. That evening after dinner, I was playing with my Barbie when Pooja and her mom marched in. "Mom, look! Didn't I tell you Jisha stole my Barbie?" "What?" I suddenly felt guilty of something I hadn't even done. "But ma'am, she gave me this Barbie. She said it was a gift." "Are you saying I'm lying? I would remember if I gave that doll to you."
Stop crying, Pooja. Jisha did save you today, so think of it as a gift, okay?
"If you say so, Mom. You know how much I like sharing my stuff." Mrs. Chopra left, and suddenly Pooja turned towards me with a smug smile. "Why did you lie?" "'Cause I didn't like it when Mom said you were more responsible than me." Gosh, this girl was crazy. But I had to put up with her because of our situation. Mrs. Chopra was a nice woman who treated Mom and me kindly. One day, I was reading my science encyclopedia in the kitchen when she walked in. She started asking me a few questions, and I answered them all correctly. This impressed Mrs. Chopra so much that she got me enrolled into Pooja's school. I was thrilled. That year, I studied my butt off and got straight A's. I even bagged first prize for my science project, which was to be displayed in our school's annual day function.
I'm very proud of you, Jisha. Oh, this reminds me. I've been invited to a science fair. Would you like to attend it too?
That sounds amazing! But Mom, you promised to take me to the movies.
That can wait, honey. You can join Jisha and me if you wish.
I'd rather lick a doggy's butt. Besides, I'm a Jerk is my favorite movie, and I want to watch it today. But Mrs. Chopra ignored her, and we both went to the fair, where we had tons of fun. I had no idea Mrs. Chopra was a bit of a science geek like me. When we got home that day, I was shocked to find my project smashed to pieces. I knew it was Pooja, but she blamed their pet cat for it. Thankfully, Mrs. Chopra helped me build it from scratch. And over the summer vacations, she took me to science museums all over the city, which didn't sit well with Pooja. One day, I was baking some brownies when I heard her yelling. I turned off the oven and went to her room to find chocolate smeared all over the furniture. "Clean this right now. My friends are coming over in a couple of hours." "How is there chocolate everywhere?" "Less talking, more working. Chop chop." Pooja left and I got busy cleaning the mess when suddenly I heard screams from the kitchen. I rushed to find the oven on fire, and it was spreading fast. "Mom, Jisha did this. I saw her baking something. But I remember turning the oven off." "Apparently not. Looks like you're trying to get us all killed." Thankfully, the fire brigade arrived in time, but the whole kitchen was destroyed. Mom couldn't stop apologizing to Mrs. Chopra for what happened, and I got such a scolding. That evening, I was sulking in the garden when Pooja walked up to me. "This is what you get for trying to act too smart in front of Mom." "So it was you. I was sure I'd turned off the oven." "Yeah, but you can't prove it." Are you insane? The fire could have spread. Someone could have gotten hurt. As if I care. This girl was a psycho. Years passed, and in 12th grade, I started getting a lot of attention from boys, but I was only focused on my studies. Pooja, on the other hand, was dating a politician's son who was the biggest bully in school. One day, I was walking back home with groceries when suddenly a car whizzed past me so closely that I fell down. You butthead, watch where you're going. The car stopped and a well-dressed guy stepped out.
Are you hurt? Here, take this money and get yourself checked in a hospital.
I took the money from him and threw it right in his face. You can keep your money. Learn some manners instead. The guy muttered something that sounded like ungrateful brat and just left in his car. What a jerk! But moments later, I was shocked to see the same guy parked at the mansion, and Mrs. Chopra was hugging the jerk guy. That's when I got to know he was Arjun, Mrs. Chopra's son who'd gone abroad for studies. She looked extremely happy to have him back, and I didn't want to create any drama, so I just avoided Arjun. Then one day, I went to Pooja's room to hand over her laundry when someone walked out of the bathroom. It was Arjun, in a towel. He looked like a Greek god. I'm sorry.
You? What are you doing here? Have you been stalking me?
Who do you think you are, Tom Cruise?
You've got some nerve talking to me like that standing in my house.
Well, Mr. Snob, I live here too. And that's when I told him who I was and left. Later that night, I was helping Mom in the kitchen when Arjun walked in. He thanked Mom for the meal and said it was the best biryani he'd ever had. I was surprised to see him being so nice. And Mom was blushing like a teenager.
Oh, what a well-behaved boy. There aren't many kids like him these days.
Oh, please. He's as big a jerk as his sister. That weekend, Pooja threw a homecoming party for Arjun. I was serving drinks when suddenly I tripped on something and all the glasses came crashing down. Are you blind or stupid? Do you know how expensive these glasses were? They cost your mom's entire year's salary. I'm sorry, it was an accident. I immediately started cleaning the mess, but a piece of glass cut my finger. Ew! Get lost before your bloodstains are expensive marble floor. I could feel all eyes on me and I felt like crying. Suddenly, someone took my hand gently.
Let me see. It's just a minor cut. Come on, I'll put a Band-Aid on it.
Arjun led me to his room and he carefully bandaged my wound.
Does it hurt?
Not as much as your sister's words.
I apologize on her behalf. She's a little, temperamental.
Mental is more like it. Arjun laughed out loud, and for some reason, it made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Maybe he wasn't as bad as I'd thought. He was kind to all the staff members, and once I saw him chatting with Mom, wiping the dishes that she was washing. He'd also hang out with me often, and this made Pooja go crazy with rage. You witch, I know what you're up to. Stay away from my brother, or else? Or else what? It's not like I'm chasing him around or something. He prefers my company over yours. I can't help it. Pooja looked ready to kill, but I wasn't gonna let her bully me for no reason. A few days later, I was coming back from school after our last exam when a car suddenly stopped by me. It was Arjun, and he offered me a ride home. But just a few minutes later, we got stuck in the worst traffic jam. I was so tired that I fell asleep, and when I woke up, we were already home.
Good morning, sleepyhead.
I'm sorry.
You should be, after the way you've been snoring. It was louder than an airplane taking off.
What? I don't snore.
You do. And you sleep with your mouth open.
No, I don't.
I have proof.
He took out his phone and showed a terrible picture of me. Delete that right now. I was trying to snatch the phone from him when suddenly my hair got entangled in his shirt's button. Our faces were so close that I could hear his heartbeat. Arjun carefully freed my hair.
There you go. And don't worry, I'll delete it, even though you look super cute in this picture.
I mumbled an awkward thank you and rushed inside. Was Arjun flirting with me? A few days later, he asked me out, and I couldn't refuse because I was already crushing on him. We snuck out at 4 a.m., and he took me to his secret spot where we watched the most magical sunrise. Then he kissed me, and it was like a dream. That evening, I made dinner for everyone since Mom had gone to the farmer's market. But when she didn't return after hours, I started getting worried. Just then, Pooja barged into my room. Waiting for your mom, huh? Wonder when she'll be back.
Suddenly, I felt fear in my stomach. What are you up to, Pooja? Where's my mom?
Now you know what it feels like when someone tries to snatch away the people you love. First, you cast your spell on Mom, and now Arjun.
What are you saying? I'm gonna tell Mrs. Chopra about this.
If you walk out of this room, you'll never see your mom again.
Please, Pooja, I'll do whatever you say. Just don't hurt Mom.
Then pack your bags and leave. Your mom will be here in 10 minutes. And don't you dare tell anyone about this, or I swear you'll regret it.
The madness in Pooja's eyes scared me. I started throwing our things in our bags, and sure enough, Mom was back soon, but there were bruises on her legs. Oh my God, Mom, what happened? Oh, I was coming back from the market when a biker crashed into me. Thankfully, Pooja's boyfriend was there to help me. He even took me to the hospital, God bless him. Save your blessings for someone else. He was probably the one who hired that biker. I told Mom everything, and she said we had to speak to Mrs. Chopra. Mom, we have no proof. And Pooja is her daughter after all. She won't believe these things about her. No, the only thing we can do is leave. I can't risk you getting hurt. We left the mansion that night without telling anyone. We moved to a big city in another state where Mom started working as a seamstress, and I took up a babysitting job. Based on my high school results, I got into a good medical university and poured my heart into my studies to become a doctor. 5 years later, I was working as an intern at a hospital when an emergency patient got admitted. It was Pooja, and she looked heavily pregnant. Minutes later, she gave birth to a healthy baby girl, but when she saw me, she looked stunned and burst into tears. Jisha, I am so sorry. I guess I got what I deserved. I tried to ruin your life, and today, my life's a mess. And then she told me how she'd run away from home with her boyfriend, who got her pregnant and then dumped her. I've been living in a homeless shelter for the past 6 months. I'm too ashamed to go back home. Shh, everything will be okay. I'll talk to Mrs. Chopra. I'm sure she'll forgive her daughter. You don't understand. She's not my birth mom. I was her maid's daughter. My own mom ran away with a guy, leaving me behind. So Mom adopted me. That's why I felt so insecure around you. You were smarter, prettier. I feared Mom would start loving you more, and then she'd abandon me too. I was shocked to hear that. Pooja's blood pressure started going up, so I gave her an injection to relax. As Pooja slept, I called Mrs. Chopra. In a few hours, she was at the hospital with Arjun. He looked as handsome as ever. Mrs. Chopra teared up as I showed her the baby. Just then, Pooja started waking up, and I decided to leave the family alone for a while. A few hours later, I came to check Pooja's vitals and left. As I was about to enter another patient's room, someone grabbed my hand. Thank you for everything. It's all right. After you left, I was about to call the police when Pooja told us everything. I was furious at her. I tried looking for you, but you changed numbers, and no one knew where you'd gone. I got really scared. After Dad, Mom was all I had left, and I couldn't let anything happen to her. I understand. Are you, dating anyone? No. Are you? No. There was an awkward silence. Okay then. How about we start where we left off? And where was that? Let me remind you.